So let's see how far we can actually lob these guys. Geez, so it doesn't matter how big they are, you can actually lob them pretty much the exact same distance. And those stegos are absolutely out of here.
Whirl.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with another Arc Aberration video, and today we are taking an in-depth look at the Karkinos, the gigantic crab. This guy is just the stuff made out of nightmares. Look at these claws. He's got four of them. You better best watch out. So today we'll be going through looking at what they can do, their stats, their best melee damage, and their best movement speed. Now these guys aren't bred or anything. They were max 150 level tame. So what we do, if you guys haven't seen our Arc Insight videos before, we spawn in a bunch of these guys. Whoever has the highest melee damage out of the three, we take and then pump their melee damage solely up to maximum, giving all their levels into melee damage. This guy here has the highest at 462, which is incredible. We also do the same thing for movement speed. It doesn't matter what level they are tamed at. All their levels go into movement speed, and we just take a general look at what they can do and their abilities. So first off, we'll take a look at their abilities. Now the Karkinos, he's pretty beastly. He's not the greatest sprinter. You can see there, that's sprinting speed, that's walking speed, so he's pretty slow. However, he does do this leap attack, which is pretty cool. So you pretty much aim your reticle. You can see the little crosshairs there, and he pretty much leaps in that direction, pretty much making it to the spot where you pointed on your reticle. Now, he also has two attacks. He's got that attack, and he's got that attack. So each left and right trigger controls each, obviously, claw. So right trigger, right claw, left trigger, left claw. And what you can actually do with these is you can actually pick up dudes. So this is a bulldog here. You can see that we're able to pick him up just by tapping the left trigger. You can't pick up anything bigger than an iguanodon, I believe. So far, you can see the iguanodon over here. We're going to come pick him up as well with our right claw. Now, you can actually control each claw separately from each other. So say, for example, you've got one dino in your left claw and you've got another dino in your right claw. You can actually kill the dino. Okay, we accidentally killed the iguanodon there. Here he is. There's the parasol. Sorry, I said that you actually have to tap the button to pick him up. You actually have to hold it to pick them up. That's why we accidentally killed the iguanodon. Now, from this part, you can either clobber them on the ground with the primary attack that your claw has on. So, for example, right trigger does that. Left trigger does that to the poor bulldog, which you accidentally killed. You can then trigger a throwing move, pretty much, with the Karkinos, which allows you to throw the potential target that you have. So all you've got to do is, for PlayStation 4, it's you right-click your right stick, so you just click the right stick. For computers, I'm pretty sure it's C that you activate this, and now once you've come into this, you'll see this little crosshair. You can pretty much choose where you want to throw him. All you've got to do to trigger that again is press the exact same button, and goodbye, Mr. Parasaur. Oh my god, if Parasaurs could fly. Look at that. The poor guy is just out of here. That's got to be a home run. Jeez, I actually feel sorry for him. Imagine how far you'd throw a dodo. So it doesn't look like you're really limited to how much you can throw. Now, if you press both at the same time, it doesn't allow you to pick up larger dinos. You can attack with both claws though. Actually, no, never mind. You still can pick up stegos. However, these guys are actually able to damage you. So far, stegos are the largest dinos that I've actually been able to pick up. And you can see here, these guys here. Now, because we attacked that first one, he's attacking us. But his friend doesn't seem to be attacking us because, well, we didn't attack him first. So let's see how far we can actually lob these guys. Geez, so it doesn't matter how big they are, you can actually lob them pretty much the exact same distance. And those stegos are absolutely out of here. So you can potentially use this guy to tame up other dinosaurs, which is really effective. So once again, just to clarify, to pick up dinos, you have to hold the button. So left trigger, right trigger for the PlayStation, left click and right click for the computer. You can see here we've got a turtle in one arm, and we should be able to pick up this stego here. There you go, you can see that we've picked both of them up. Right click your thumbstick and they're out of here. This is really cool actually. And you can see we've stumbled upon an explorer node, sure. That's cool. Okay, so we've picked out this location to test out maximum speed because it's pretty much a straight terrain. So you'll be able to see just how fast they can go. So we're going to come over here to these guys. Now this guy on the left here is going to be our melee damage dude, whereas the guy on the right is going to be our movement speed. Now we probably should have kept some of those dinosaurs because now we don't have anything to test our melee damage on. So we're going to come to this Karkinos. We're going to jump on him first. just so we can pump up that movement speed. We're going to type in the command to give us absolutely all the experience we could have ever wanted. Now, we will be doing this with all the other dinosaurs, creatures, whatever you want to call them, in Ark. So if you really want to get a look at those guys, a really in-depth look at them, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. It would mean a lot to me as well. So now we're going to pump the stats up on the Karkinos. You can see that he's got 71 points of leveling, and now we go ham on his movement speed. And he does do a pretty unique little dance while you pump up his level. Okay, so he's now fully pumped. You guys saw what we were doing, how fast we were moving on the previous Karkinos. This is him at walking speed, and this is him at sprinting speed. So obviously he's not the fastest. I wouldn't invest movement speed points into this guy because it's not going to really make all that much of a difference. This guy just seems to be more of a grabby, tossy kind of dude. You could easily use this guy to hold tames and throw them into taming pens. Granted, it'll probably take a little bit of practice to get them there, but I wouldn't recommend taming this guy for his movement speed. He's decently okay, but he's not the fastest dude. But you can see he does have quite a good amount of stamina on him. His stamina is not depleting all that much too fast. Now, we will be doing an Ark inside of these guys, comparing them against other creatures on the aberration world. But for now, we're going to head back and grab our melee damage dude and see how much damage he can really do. Okay, so here is our Karkinos with the melee damage that we've chosen. You can see that he's got 462, the amount that we chose to start with. He also now has maximum levels. So what we're going to do first is we're going to see just how much damage he actually does to creatures. You can see there, we're dealing 147. Both claws do 230. So that's not too bad. 147 and 230. This guy's pretty powerful. He's got a good attack. He deals just as much as the Rock Drake, actually, I've noticed. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to pump this guy's... Wait, we've already given him the levels. We're going to pump this guy's melee damage right up, and we're just going to see how much melee damage this guy can actually deal to other dinos and creatures. Okay, so he's fully pumped on melee damage. He has 1,700 and 741 melee damage. This is base stats, so these stats haven't been altered in any way for these creatures. He was gaining 19% per level, which I think is a pretty decent amount. Granted, he started off at 476. We've then pumped 71 levels into his melee damage, and he's now max level with a huge amount of melee damage. Now, we've got to find potential targets. There are some just up there, so we're slowly going to make our way to him. Now, this guy is pretty formidable. He does have a decent amount of health as well, 7,200. He's easily a rather tanky dino, and he's a creature, whatever you want to call them. He also has a rather good amount of weight. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend pumping his movement speed on him because I feel like you'd just be wasting the points. His stamina as well, I wouldn't really bother too much. He seems like he's got really good stamina as well. Now, we've got some targets over here. We're going to come over to this Iguanodon and see how much damage. Now, before we were doing 147. You just saw there, that was 563, I believe, if I remember the numbers correctly. We're going to come over to this Paraceratherium. Actually, the Diplodocus as well might be a pretty good test dummy. 563 this dude is dealing. That is incredible. Now, if we do our double claw slam, he deals 887. So this guy is a pretty formidable creature. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to pick up Diplodocuses. I think that may be a little bit too much for the poor little crab. Same as Paraceratheriums. So I would say Stegos would be his maximum. You know, you saw us pick up the Stegos. I would have no doubt that this guy would be able to pick up Trikes. Now, if you don't have anything equipped in your claws, he doesn't really do anything to attack, which, you know, is pretty self-explanatory because he doesn't have anything to toss. But this Diplodocus, you know, this guy could easily par on Rexes. Even the Rock Drakes, I would say. This guy's easily on par with the Rock Drakes. So I would definitely recommend taming one of these guys up. I have no idea how you're going to go about taming them yet. We'll be looking into that at a bit of a later date as well. So don't forget to tune in for that as well, guys. Like I said, subscribe and you will be getting access to all the new creatures and all their new information. But other than that, guys, that'll be it for this video. This guy is easily a beast of huge proportions. You saw there we had just expended all that stamina killing the Paraceratherium, the Diplodocus, and this guy has 2,000. He had about 2,100 stamina left over. That was including the walk over here at full sprinting speed. So this guy is easily a force that can be reckoned with, and I would definitely recommend taming up one of these guys as soon as possible because, you know, he can toss dinos. That is really good for PvP, especially if you don't want to get in a fight with them. You just walk up to them at the enemy base, pick them up, if you can remember the controls, and lob them out of there. Look at that. It doesn't make a difference how heavy the dino is. The distance is exactly the same. We should have actually found a dodo to test this on. Actually, we got a bulb dog just here. We might quickly test it on this little guy, see how far he goes. I'm going to say he goes as far as the stegos will. There we go, we've got him here. You can see his little glowing light. And I'm going to lob him up there. Actually, it looks like... Okay, never mind. So the smaller creatures do go further than the larger ones, which is to be expected because they obviously are lighter. Now, don't forget, he also has the ability to jump. So you can technically cover quite a bit of terrain with this guy and jump over your enemy's defenses. I would easily say this guy could jump over a small dinosaur gate. But other than that, guys, that'll be it. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. I definitely enjoy making these for you guys. These guys look absolutely incredible. All the new aberration creatures do. But other than that, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.